Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight, either live or on replay. I really appreciate it. You coming by and checking out the video and my card tutorial for today. As you're coming on in, let me know you're here. Introduce yourself. My name is Jamie. I'm in upstate New York, and I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator now for 5 years. So much fun. I love it. So come on in. Let me know you're here. Rosie's here. Good evening. I have a couple things I want to go over with you just briefly, and then we're going to make this card here. It uses the What's Cookin' Bundle from the new catalog. Really exciting. It's so fun. Hi, Amy and Roz is here. Michelle. Yes, I am back from vacation. We had so much fun. And honestly, like, we hit it just right because we were told the week before the weather was like okay, and the week after it has been that warm as when we were there, and it's been kind of like rainy, so we kind of hit it just right. Thank you. Come on in, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know Wednesdays can be busy and there's a lot going on in everyone's life, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here with me tonight. I have a couple things I want to go over, and it's funny because sometimes I assume like you know things because I know things, but that doesn't, just because I know things doesn't mean that you know things, that I know things thinking you know things. Who are my friends? Who watches Friends around here? I love that episode. Hi, Jillian. Thanks for joining me tonight. So I wanted to tell you about a couple of things that I offer when you shop with me. These are things that I really assume everyone knows, but you might not know about these things. And so I wanted to just mention it tonight. I have the opportunity to. So I offer two sort of perks, I guess is how you want to say that, when you shop with me in my store. The first is if you place a $50 order that is before tax and shipping, anytime, 365 days a year, you will get a free $10 item from me. And I had a customer reach out and she's like, wasn't it $9? And I didn't even tell you guys, but I increased it to $10 starting in May, I think it was. So it's now a $10 item or items equivalent to $10 with any $50 purchase. When you check out, make sure you use my current host code. You can always find that on my blog. And then when you place your order, I usually beat you to it. I usually email you first, or you can email me and just let me know what you'd like. Then at the end of the month, I order up all the customer gifts and mail them out as soon as they come in. So that's the first sort of perk that you get when you shop with me. The second thing I wanted to mention is my star rewards. And these are the ones that people usually really don't know about. And it's probably the biggest perk, I suppose, of shopping with me. And it's works like similar to like a regular retail store's rewards. For every increment of $25 in an order, you receive one star, a paper star on a chart. And then once you accumulate 12 of those stars, you get a free $30 order from me, just for free. And you can pick whatever you want. I order it up and I ship it to you. So $25 increments. So let's say you place an order of $50, you're going to get a free $10 item and 2 stars to go towards that 12. And they accumulate, they don't expire, they're ever ongoing, they never run out. And then once you've accumulated 12, you get that $30 order. And whenever you want. Some people wait for new catalogs to come out, some wait for whatever, but you can order those. Just let me know what you want, and there's a fly flying around here. Did you see the bug? It's like, doo, 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 doo. So those are the 2 perks of shopping with me. I wanted just to let you know because sometimes, again, I assume you know, but odds are you probably don't. So now you know. And so there's 2 perks. That's why it's always like when people place an order of like $45, I'm like, oh, you should have pushed just a little bit more because you would have gotten that $10 item from me. So anyways, I just wanted to let you know about that. The third thing I want to mention, and then we're going to get making tonight's card, I promise I'm not going to forget, is that today I sat down. I've been procrastinating. Do you guys procrastinate about things? This is something I've been procrastinating about since May 4th. So I've made 5 new card tutorials. These are card tutorials. They're PDF tutorials, and I tell you the tools that you need. I tell you the card measurements. I send you a picture of it. And then I tell you the instructions how to make the card. These are 5 quick and easy card tutorials that I kind of say thank you as a way of saying thank you for signing up for my weekly tips and updates email. So every Tuesday afternoon, evening-ish, sometimes Wednesday morning if I completely forget, I send out a weekly email, and in that email I give you Stampin' Up updates, what's going on, what are the new offers, if there's any specials coming up, that sort of thing. I usually throw in some sort of stamping tips or a video or whatever, something that I think that you might find helpful. And any other information that I think you should know about, whether it's through my business or Stampin' Up as a whole. So I send those out every Tuesday, and for signing up for that, I am giving you the 5 card tutorials. These are quick and easy cards because I know we're all busy. The idea is that these cards each would take about 15 to 20 minutes, more or less. So they're quick and easy, but I didn't slack in the design. I won't show you the fronts, but here's the card back. So you can see the one has a little ribbon poking through the top. And let's see here, I have 2 birthdays, a thank you, and like 2 general cards or so. So if you would like to receive the 5 card tutorials, you can either go onto my blog or you can go to jamieb.com. The link is here on the Facebook post, and just look for the like receive 5 free tutorials or something like that, I word it. And then as soon as you sign up, it'll automatically get emailed to you right to your inbox. So I want to let you know because I'm super proud. I sat down, I was like, I'm doing it today. I'm not procrastinating anymore. And so I whipped out the cards and got them out. If you've already signed up for my newsletter, an email went out this afternoon with the tutorials in it, so you don't have to re-sign up. If you already are signed up, if you already get my emails, you would have gotten the email with the tutorials this afternoon. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Let's get on to today's card. Again, it's using the What's Cookin'. It's backwards right now, but What's Cookin' bundle. So I am going to flip you around. I always struggle a little bit, so just be patient with me, and we'll get going. Hold on. Oops. Ooh. That was scary. You almost saw like a close-up of my forehead. That's not good. Okay, let me just arrange it so I'm not completely off-centered here, and then we'll get going. Okay, gotta move my seat up. I always have to move it down for the beginning and then up when I do the tutorial. Okay, so here's tonight's card. I have to say my favorite part of the card is this little string, because it kind of makes it a little like interactive, because it's always kind of like over there and then over here. It's just really fun. So I'm going to walk you through how I did this. I just realized I forgot to get something out. Hold on. Inevitable. It's always I forget something. And I usually like remember immediately. So let me show you what we're working with tonight. So here's the stamp set, What's Cookin'. I think this is great. I'm excited to use this like for scrapbook layouts too, for, I don't know, pictures of my kids baking or cooking or whatever. So I think we can use this for card making as well as, you know, memory keeping and that sort of thing. I'm a sucker for a pun, so I love this What's Cookin'. I think that's just really, really fun. And then this kind of bigger sentiment. So I'm using the What's Cookin' on the outside and then that more detailed one on the inside. And then we have just a variety. We have a salt and pepper shakers. We have wooden spoons and spatulas and knives. I was actually thinking I usually don't make Halloween cards. I just don't. I just don't usually send Halloween cards. But I was thinking, I bet someone's going to do something fun with this for Halloween. A bowl, and then we have like a tomato, a mushroom, and celery, because that's super fun to do like a background with or whatever. So here's the stamp set, and of course it's a coordinating bundle, which means that it does have coordinating dies. The dies are the Cookin dies, and there aren't a bajillion of them, but I love this cutting board. So fun. He's kind of like my focal point here. I love these guys here, and I cut them out in basic black, but I've also seen people cut them out in colors. They really look like real. I don't know why. It's just really fun. And then these other images cut out the stamped images. So let's dive into Stampin' tonight, and I'll kind of walk you through why I did what and my thought process and all that stuff. So I'm starting off with a panel of Thick Whisper White. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And you all would be very proud of me. I remembered my bone folder. I don't always, but I did tonight, so yay. Okay, so score that. And then, oh, I'm also using this embossing folder. This is a duo embossing folder that can work with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And it's called Checks and Dots because one of them is checks and one of them is dots. Very original, right? And this is, it's smaller. So if you're looking to do a bigger panel, I'm going to show you kind of how I did that. You're going to kind of have to finagle a little bit because it is meant to just do, I think it's 3 3/8 wide, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to sort of make it work. And let me just show you. So I have a panel of, hold on, I got to move my things around. I have a panel of crumb cake. Oh, let me show you my color palette. I always forget. My color palette is Crumb Cake Mint Macaron and Basic Black, which, I don't know, I don't really, that doesn't look very, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. So we're just going to go Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron, and Basic Black. So I have a panel of Crumb Cake here, which if you have Crumb Cake and you get it, and maybe you're a new stamper, you're like, there's something wrong with this. Because it actually does have, it's not, there's nothing wrong with it, but it does have this sort of like grain in it or something. I don't know how to really describe it, but it has, there's no texture to it. It feels like a regular cardstock, but it does have this, like almost like the paper fibers or something. So this panel is 4 by 4. So it is larger than my embossing folder. So, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Well, I could trim it down, but why would we do that? I don't want to do that. I want a 4 by 4 panel. And so what I'm going to do is put it in my embossing folder like so. And I have this little piece kind of hanging off the end, but no big deal. We're going to get it, we're going to make it work. So I'm going to put it in, and then this piece is sticking out. No big deal. I'm going to run it through, and then I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make it work. I just realized I totally, oh no, I did it crooked. Hold on, I'm gonna cut a new one. I knew I did it too because I put it in and I felt it like shimmy, like it moved. And I'm like, that's gonna come out crooked, and totally did. A little blotchy. I guess that's a way, like it literally has like almost paper fibers in it. And you could easily, I think it's the only, it used to be called Craft. This color used to be called Craft. And I can see why, but you know, you easily could look at it and go, huh, something's not right, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, let's try this again. Take 2. So I'm going to put that in there. Do I have, I can get it over a little bit more. Like, I'm trying to get it as straight as possible. Okay. Now let's hope when I put it through this time, it doesn't shimmy. I knew it did too. I felt it. Hold on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to do that. Okay, perfect. We're good. Okay, so I'm going to open it up, but I want it, yes, I want to open it up with the cardstock still in the side that poked out. Okay, so the one that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it is the one that I'm opening. Isn't it recycled paper that they used to make the craft paper? I don't know, Rosie. You might be right. I don't know, to be honest. Hey, Mom. Thanks for coming on. I don't know. I'd have to find out, but you could be very right. I don't know that for sure, though. Okay, so this side is embossed, but then we have this, and that's fine, but we can totally make this work. So I'm actually going to shimmy over my cardstock, and until the grooves hit the grooves. Does that make sense? Like, I can literally move it around until, there we go, until all these little dots have filled this dot. Does that make sense? And I've gone over enough that this is going to emboss. See? Does that make sense? It's gonna emboss in the same spot because I have it in the little grooves. Okay, so I'm gonna run that through again. Hold on. I gotta do it this way. Okay, and then when we open it up, it makes sense to us crafters, but nobody else. Oh, that's the best comment, Roz. That's the best comment. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining tonight. Oh, that's hysterical. And there you have it. The whole piece is embossed. Ta-da! Yeah, exactly. You line up the grooves. That's a good point. That's a good way of saying it. You line up the grooves and the dots. And as long as you line it up, it's just going to kind of re-emboss it, so to speak. And actually, no, I was going to say you get a faint line, but I don't see any line at all. I was going to say maybe you got a faint line, but I don't see one. So it's a great way to take this one and just make it go farther. I will say that I think I tried it with the checkers and it didn't work as well. Did I try it with the checkers one? I'm not sure, actually. I should try it. Well, that'll be another day. I don't remember if I did or not, actually. I think I wanted to. I'm not sure if I actually did. Okay, so this is going to go on my card front. And I'm going to use liquid glue as much as I despise this stuff. Because, well, it's just easier. I did too, Denise. I really like it. It's different, and I like it because you can use it for just about anything. I'm using it with the cooking set. You could use it as a birthday card with really bright colors. You could use the positive. You could use the negative side. It's just a lot of fun. And then you get the duo, which I love the checks as well. I feel like you can do a lot with it. Okay, so there's that. Let's see here. What should we do next? Let's do my panel of mint macaron. So I knew I wanted to add another sort of detail here. So I took a panel of mint macaron. This measures 1.5 by 5. 1.5 by 5. And what I did is I put on the same block the spatula and wooden spoon. Okay, I kind of eyeballed getting them straight, and I put them on the same block. And this just makes it super easy to stamp at the same time. Actually, I may try and get them even closer than they are, although they were pretty close. Okay, and I'm going to do same color on same color. So mint macaron ink on mint macaron cardstock. And I'm going to start at the top. Stop at the top. I'm going to start at the top. And I think for my sample, I didn't, but for this one, I'm going to stamp kind of like hanging off a little bit. Like that. And then I need to do a little bit on this side. So obviously you can only do one and then you kind of eyeball the other one. But I don't think you can totally mess this up, honestly. And then I'm going to kind of go in between the grooves. Like that. And have one sort of hanging off. Again, eyeball it. I don't think you can get it like perfect. I suppose you could use the Stamparatus, but this is fine. And then I just kind of need the tips of these guys like that. Would there be another? There might be another little tip showing. Very little bit. I nicked the corner. Okay, so there we go. Okay, just kind of created my own sort of designer paper, I guess if you want to call it that. Created my own background, really. I could have stamped them this way as well. I guess that would have been fun. I didn't think of that until just now. but you could do that as well. Oops. Any way you want. I'm going to adhere these down using Stampin Dimensionals. These dimensionals are giving me a hard time. I'm not going to lie. Come on. No, 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 no. I kind of went dimensional crazy on this card. If there's such a thing, I did it. It happened. Oops. Okay. And then this, I just want to make sure. Okay. I have the open on the bottom. Been there, done that. And I'm going to, you know, I said that was, I could have sworn, I must not have measured that right. This is shorter. Oh yeah, it's 4 3/4. Okay, so mine is 4 by 4 3/4. I did a square. I did 4 by 4. But this, if you want to do this one, it's going to be 4 by 4 3/4. I must have measured it this way and gone, okay, it's 4. And then measured it this way and gone, oh, it's 4. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let me just swap this out. Okay. So next I took the, where are they? Here they are. Hippos and Friends dies. This to me, I just love these dies so much because of the labels. Okay, if you're not into unicorns and hippos and butterflies, just kind of like overlook them. But the dies in this set are to die for. See what I did? Anybody get that? Did that fall flat? The dies are to die for. They're so good. And they have all different sizes and kind of shapes. These ones are stitched. This one does like an embossed. Just great dies. So I used the largest one of this one down here, and I cut out just a background for my utensils. Again, Hippos and Friends dies. You're going to want this for sure. Again, even if you're not into hippos and unicorns, I think it's well worth it just to get the dies even just by themselves, honestly. Okay, so ahead of time, I cut out a cutting board. How adorable, just so cute with the wood green going through it. And then I cut out a spatula. Aren't they so cute? And then a whisk. These are just so fun. I love them. Actually, my utensils are black, so they look very much like my utensils. It was a good joke, guys. Come on. I know you all laughed. If you didn't laugh at it, you laughed at me. One of them. Okay. I wanted to add just a little bit of twine in my cutting board. So I'm using the linen thread, which is an absolute gopher. Oh man, guys, I'm full of bad jokes tonight. Go-to for anything really. I use this stuff all the time. I mean, all the time. So I have a much bigger piece than I need. Like there's no way it's going to be that big, but it's a lot easier to tie a knot. So I just wound it through and I'm just going to tie a knot. It's a lot easier to tie the knot and trim when it's longer than when it's like itty bitty and short. It's just a lot more easy to maneuver. So there's my knot. I'm going to trim just above the knot. Actually, I hope that wasn't too low. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. And then we have this piece, and I just think it's so fun because it kind of moves, and I don't know. That's my favorite piece of the whole card. This little piece of thread. There you go. Okay. So, and then we're going to add a couple of stamped images. So let me, if I was my white cardstock, where would I be? I think what did I do with it? Hold on. I lost it. I don't know. I had a piece out. Who knows where it went? Is that big enough? That might be big enough. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the bowl in mint macaron. And these are distinctive stamps, so they give depth to the stamped image. Can I fit it that way? Oh, I can fit it that way. Okay, so see the depth in there? Like it's a little darker here and a little lighter there. That's our distinctive stamps. It's done on purpose, and it just makes it look all the more real, honestly. And then the rolling pin, I am going to stamp in crumb cake. Okay. How about there? Perfect. And they stamp darker. When they dry, they will lighten. So I always look at it when I first stamp it. I'm like, whoa, that's intense. But then it does lighten as it dries. Okay, so let me just get my coordinating dies here. I need this guy and I need this guy. And I'm just going to cut over here off camera. And while I'm doing that, I just want to remind you that the January to June mini catalog is coming to an end. It officially ends June 30th. And there's, I mean, some of the product carried over, but there is a ton of product that is retiring, and some of it with up to like 50% off. I couldn't believe some of the prices on like the embellishments and ribbon and even the dies. I was like, whoa, I couldn't believe it. So that is going on right now, the last chance sale, and the items are available while supplies last. So if you've had your eye on a stamp set, on a bundle or whatever, now's the time to get it, because once they're gone, they are gone for good, unfortunately. And I wouldn't want you to miss out. So you can head over to my store for all of that. Okay, now we just start to assemble. I think I started, I don't really remember how I did this, honestly. Well, we're going to figure this out as I go. Let's start with adhering down my favorite thing of the whole thing, the cutting board. I just love the texture in it. I love the texture. And I saw another card and it had like flowers on it. I think that'd be really pretty, like for Christmas, to do like put a poinsettia on it or something. I don't know, but the wheels are turning. I gotta think about that. So I think you can use this set even well into like the holiday season. You can have just a lot of fun with it. Thinking all the baking that happens with the holiday season, right? You can just do a lot with it. Let's see here. What do I want to do next? I think I'm going to adhere my rolling pin. Okay, so truth, my rolling pin was a last minute decision. I just had all that, and I kind of had this negative white space here, and I'm like, I need to fill it. So I was going to put the sentiment there. Didn't quite like the way that looked. So the rolling pin, literally, I chopped off the bottom of it and stuck it in. So I can't say that I did it ahead of time. I may cut it still because it's a little long on the bottom. Give it a little bit of a haircut. No one will know. Maybe I will do that at the end again so that I can get the placement exactly where I want it to go. Okay, so more dimensionals because you can never have enough. And I'm gonna, whoops, come on. I'm gonna put a little adhesive there so that it kind of catches the cutting board. And trying to get that straight. And how about there? Sure, right? Why not? And then these guys, I'm going to glue down with liquid glue. Please create a holiday baking card with the set later near the holiday. I totally will, Denise. I totally will. Can't you see like some really pretty like poinsettias? Or just like with holiday colors, right? You could do like red utensils. I almost put the glue on the front. Red utensils, I think would be really like fun. I just think you could do so much. So don't just think this is, you know, just a strictly whatever cooking. I really think that we can do a lot with it, even holidays or whatever. Easter's another big baking season. You could, I don't know, put little accents of bunnies or something. I don't know. Have fun with it, right? You got to just have fun with it. Okay, so for this guy, let's see where we want him. Use the Nothing Better Than stamp set and use the cookie stamps. Oh, totally, Rosie. Yep, that would be a good coordinating set with this one. Oh my goodness, I put this, Jamie Babarsi, I tell you, sometimes I wonder. I thought I put the dimensional on the bottom, but I put them on the top. So, yep, my bottom doesn't have the dimensional, but my top does. Oh my goodness, I meant to do it reverse. Okay, well, our little secret that I totally chopped the bottom half of of the rolling pin. He's a half a rolling pin. No one knows. It's our little secret, okay? Nobody go rat me out. Okay, so that is done. We're going to adhere that to the card front with more dimensionals, but just half the dimensionals. So this side, so how do I explain it? This mint macaron already has dimensionals, and so I have to not put dimensionals on the left side of this and only on the right so that it's even. If I put dimensionals on the whole thing, it's going to be cockeyed. Nobody wants that. Well, it's not the end of the world, but if we can avoid it, let's. Okay. I always over dimensional everything, so don't mind the bajillion dimensionals going on this card. Whoever gets it can be like, I know how many dimensionals went into this card. I should do a contest once. How many dimensionals do you think I'm going to use to make this card? You better shoot high. That's all I have to say. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to put a little adhesive over here so that it catches the mint macaron. Come on. Don't go over there yet. I'm going to go even higher because I want room for my sentiment, and I don't know if I'm going to have it because I totally undershot my crumb cake. We'll see. I don't know if I can get it to fit there. We'll try. Okay, so I have the What's Cookin'. I just think it's hysterical. How fun is that? What's Cookin' stamp set. I mean, not stamp set, sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it in Memento Black on basic white. Now, let me just tell you, this stamp set was really tricky to get the stamp straight, even with all like my tricks and whatever. What I normally do is I line up my block on my grid paper, and then I pick a word that's straight. In this sense, in this case, it's the what's, and I imagine like an imaginary line going under what's, and based on that, I try and put it on straight on my block. I really should use a bigger block. Hold on. I'm going to take this one here. Gosh, I have stuff everywhere. Okay. So I line up my block on my grid paper, and then I imagine my invisible line running under what's, and I try and line that up to my grid paper. Now, it's not foolproof, but we have a good shot. I didn't pre-trim because if I stamp this cockeyed, I'm going to have to work around it. Should I stamp it cockeyed on purpose so you see how I fix that? Because that's totally what happened here. I stamped it like this, like it was totally off, and I had to fix it. Maybe I'll do it on purpose. Should I do it on purpose? Should I totally mess up on purpose? Is the question. Would you like me to see me make a mistake and watch how I fix it? Okay, I will totally make a mistake and you can watch how I fix it. So let's say I have my red rubber stamp. Obviously, if we're working with photopolymer, it's much easier to stamp straight. But these guys, especially ones that aren't like straight, this is all curvy, it can be a little hard to know how to stamp it straight. So let's say I'm like, yeah, that's totally straight. But I'm like, whoa, that's so not straight. Like, not even remotely close. But I can fix it. Totally fixable. Do not throw that away. Do not. Now, if I was stamping directly on my card, I would be in trouble. Because I'm cutting a separate piece, I can fix it. If I was stamping, like, let's say down here and it's stamped crooked, well, it is what it is. I don't know. You're going to have to figure out another fix. But can you see my bottom? You can't quite see my bottom. Hold on. I have my stand like right there, so I can't put my trimmer straight. Okay, so I stamped crooked. Actually, it's kind of fun crooked, honestly. It's actually kind of fun crooked. No, okay, I can't do that. I have to cut it straight. So I, again, am going to, so what I do is I put my cardstock down, and then I slowly pull it away until I think that the words are straight. Okay, now if I don't cut this straight, then we're really up. We really have problems. Okay, so then I cut a straight line underneath that. It should have been shorter. Let me trim it again. I don't want it quite too long, especially if my space I'm working with is shorter. Okay, so no, that's not straight. Hold on. I can totally do this. How about that? No, I can't do that. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it. I think I can fix it. No, hold on. This is what I get when I try and make a mistake. Is that straight? That's not straight. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna do it again. I can do this. I need another sheet though, hold on. Okay, here we go. I can totally do this. I grab a die and chop it the lazy way. You're so funny. That's too straight. I'm trying to stamp it crooked. Okay, here we go. It's really challenging with these ones that there's not like a clear, like the K is a little longer. You know what I mean? It's a little hard. Okay, so let me do it this way. Maybe I have to look at it straight. I am going to imagine a straight line here. We're going with it. Okay, so then I cut it straight. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so see, now I created a straight line. So as long as I cut along that straight line, I will always cut straight. So now I put that right to the bottom of my trimmer and I cut. Put that right down to my trimmer and yeah, cut. It's okay, we got this. I can do this. Put that along the bottom and cut. And even though I initially stamped it all wonky crazy, I totally have a rectangle. Okay, but I want a banner, so I'm going to cut the end in a banner. So when I cut a banner, I cut up the center. And then I come in from this side and snip, flip it around and snip. Okay, like that. Now, how this is fitting exactly, I'm not really sure because, oh, actually it fits. Okay, see, good thing I moved that up significantly or else that was not fitting. Put a little adhesive. Rosie, that's funny. I'm always making sound effects. Okay. That even. Hold on. Where's my take your pick tool? I don't want to touch it because I think my black is still a little tacky. Okay. Okay, so that's the outside. What's cooking? How fun is that? I love it so much. And then for the inside, I stamped the, what does it say? Well, I'll just open it. I'll just open it and read. Sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love. And I initially stamped it in mint macaron, but I think I'm going to stick with the basic black just because I stamped the outside in basic black. I mean, this one in basic black, so they're kind of coordinating. And I did the same thing. I lined up my block. I imagined an invisible line kind of running through, and I more or less have it straight. Now, if I'm really not sure if it's straight, just use your grid paper. Yes, I agree, Joanna. I stamped the what's cooking, and in my head I said, hey, what's cooking good looking? And I'm like, why didn't they put the good looking in? That would have been so fun. I agree. I agree. I'm with you. You have to handwrite that one. What's cooking, and then handwrite the sentiment. Good looking. Okay, so let's see if I can stamp this straight. This one's tricky too. We're gonna do our best, and it is what it is. I can't trim this one down. It's literally in the center. Ooh, that's a little crooked. That's okay. It's not horrible, and we're gonna call it good enough. It's a smidge crooked. And then, just to add a little detail, I'm going to take my, here they are, my spatula and my wooden spoon again, and I'm just going to stamp them across the bottom. This time I cleaned it. This time I'm going to stamp it in the crumb cake and ink it up. And for my sample, I stamped it lower than I wanted. Like you barely see the second one. So for tonight, I'm going to try and stamp it a little higher so that you actually see like both of the utensils. And this one's going to go, maybe I'll do it. No, I'm just going to do it straight. That's not exactly the pattern I did on the front, but it's fine. Okay, so there you have it. What's cooking? And then sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love with some details on the bottom. I just love how realistic these look. So fun. Just lots you can do with it. I think for just everyday cards, but like I said, also for like your holiday coming up or whatnot. So that's the What's Cookin' bundle. It's in the annual catalog right now. It's brand new. Lots of fun to use. Check out JaimieB.com for all, I call it my magic link because it's like my catch-all. You can place an order, you can get a hold of me, you can check out my social media links. Everything's over there. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to be a help. If you need annual catalog. I'd love to pop one in the mail for you. And I was so happy to be back here again tonight. If you've been watching and have yet to leave a comment, quickly do so, because as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to pop all your names in a hat for one lucky winner tonight. I'll be back next week, and I hope to see you then again. Good night, everyone. Take care.